Buenas, buenas. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing on this Tuesday? Ooh. So, for those that can see me, you could tell this is more like just me, my cute little face, and I. More like intimate vibes, I should say. Um, I had been wanting to do an episode like this for a while because I feel like I put now that I've been doing a podcast, I feel like I do put out more of my life and just with like just the way the world is, how society is, I just feel like what you don't know what's going on behind closed doors or anything. Um so yeah. So I did want this episode to be more like intimate, just me and you guys. I mean, it's still gonna be funny. Don't worry, I'm still gonna laugh. But I really just wanted to be like, you know what? Let me tell you guys more of me too. Like, let me introduce myself a little better. Let me really get deep and raw with you guys. I'm probably gonna do very minimal editing, so whatever comes out comes out. And yeah, cause I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. The world is the way it is, and yeah. So I do want to start off by saying the stuff I might say might be a trigger warning, so I know les aviso of mental health. um Sorry, my dog's making noise in the background. And I'm like, you know what, whatever, this is my life. But yeah, but I do want to start off and thank everybody. I love everyone and every single one of you guys. It's crazy, honestly. This is episode 21. The amount of support I get is just insane. I love it. I never thought I would actually make it this far. Just in general, like it didn't like I'm not one of those people that really cares what people say. Hence, but it's just crazy to think that like people actually like sit there and listen to me, and people will message me and be like, "Hey, dude, loved the episode. It was funny." Or they'll be like, "Dude, I watch it on my drives to work." Or, "Dude, I listened to it during lunch break or on my way back to work home like at night." Or like even like a week later, like, "Hey, I just watched this episode, but I need to catch up and watch the next." Like, it's just so crazy to me that I just get that support from people, because just if you're from Greeley, you know, like, people here suck. Everybody's jealous of everybody no matter what. We're not like a really big support system here, and it just sucks seeing like you could be doing the best ever and people are still gonna be haters. They're still gonna talk shit behind your back because they're just jealous no matter what you do. You know, you could be a straight A student, y ahí van a estar la gente. um you could be a track star, y ahí va a estar la gente. You could have a YouTube channel, you could do this, you could do that, and people are still gonna be pretty much assholes about it. And it sucks because it's like you would think people would be more like nicer about it, you know, like, "Hey, we're all here as a community." You would just think people would like love you and care more about you than what meets the eye. Do you guys know what I mean? But yeah. So, like oh my god, my voice cracked. What am I going through? Puberty? um but like I did say, trigger warning for anything out there. But yeah. So, just in case. So, if those that don't know, I am from Greeley. I am I'm 25 years old. I'm old. I'll be 26 in just a couple weeks. Ooh, I know I say it in every episode, but my birthday's February 3rd, para que no se los olvide. Yo acepto ramos buchones, tickets to Rebelde. Ya saben. No, but yeah. Growing up, I was always a funny girl. Like, I'm not saying I was like a class clown, but I was always laughing. I was always happy. I was always like, I would say, the life of the party. I was always just me, I would say. And I remember one time, Um, I was like in the ninth grade, and I was in English class. And I mean, my whole life I've always got in trouble for talking too much or laughing too much in class. And I remember one time in ninth grade, my teacher's like, Columba. And I was like, yeah. She's like, you know what? She's like, you're always so happy, so free, so like, like no F's are given. She's like, I would really hate to see the day when you're not laughing and smiling. She's like, it would, the way she said it was like something really traumatic has to happen for you not to be like yourself. And I was like, whatever. Because I still was like, I didn't really, I felt like, well, I've been going to my therapist, and recently I did discover that my in depression and like all my mental issues, I already had them, but I just never realized I had them, of course, because I think at that point my life was fine. It was fun. I was young. I was, I didn't have to work. I didn't have to pay bills. I was in sports. Had friends. Um, I was living life. It is what it is. Y luego, take a shot for every time Columbus says. But no, seriously. Y luego, so yeah, that's what. So fast forward to when I was 18. I unfortunately had an event that really messed me up, and it took me, still to this day, um, it still affects me really bad because I just don't think I coped with it the way I should have coped with it from the beginning. I mean, of course, you're never gonna get over it, but I feel like I never healed correctly, I should say. And it just sucked because I was just like, fuck, And I was like, what, 18. And I was like, whoa, like, I was not expecting this to happen. I was so young. Um, and yeah, and I do want to put that out there that I'm just talking from my experience. So if anybody, I hope nobody gets offended, and if you do, I'm sorry, but I'm just speaking how it's going on for me. Anyway, so when I was 18, not a lot of people know about this, and I'm like, I don't know if I should say it or should I not, but I feel like this is a really big trigger to me. Um, and I mean, I do have a tattoo about it. There's so many things. So like, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But I feel like you're not gonna understand the whole story unless you know. So this is me opening up. When I was 18, I did get pregnant, and I did have a miscarriage. 2 months in December. And I was already about 15 weeks in. At the moment it happened, I had found out I was pregnant, like, already, like, really into my pregnancy. I was maybe like 8, 10 weeks. So when it happened, I hadn't fully processed that, oh, I'm having a kid, to, oh, just kidding. So it was like, oh shit. At first I was like, oh, whatever, like, it is what it is, And then out of nowhere, I think I finally like accepted it, or it just like sunk into me that what had just happened. And I was like, oh fuck. I was like, wait, this isn't like that just happened. But I'm telling you guys, like, I was 18. I was literally like, I just graduated high school. I was in beauty school. I was living my life, and all of a sudden I'm like, crap. And it was with my longtime boyfriend at the time, so I mean, it wasn't like, oh, shocker, I knew what I was doing, but it was just like, I think I was more shocked that the pregnancy had ended than it had started. So whatever. So a few months after that, I didn't know how to cope with it because I'm like, no one else around me has gone through that pain. No one else knows to really what to say, and I wasn't expecting for anyone to be like, oh, like, this and that. So I was just like, whatever. So at that time I was waitressing, and I mean, most of my friends at that time, well, that I waitress with, were over age. So it was just easy for me to just get drunk with them at work. So I drank a lot every day for like months, I should. It really did put a damper in my relationship at the moment, because he also didn't know how to cope with his emotions, so it was just a mess between the both of us. We fought a lot. um it's just it was just a mess, I should just say. So I mean, we ended up breaking up, um because of, I mean, other stuff, but I feel like that was probably one of the major reasons why it happened. um and I do feel like, oh, like, it sucked at that moment, because I'm like, I had just lost one one member of, like, my future, and then I just lost someone else that I thought I was gonna be with forever, because we already had been together for so long at that time that it was just crazy to me, and I was like, whatever. So after that, that was like another heartbreak. So then I just partied and drink and blah blah blah, and then I ended up meeting my last boyfriend around that time, and I was like, oh, I'll be fine, everything was great and stuff. And long story short, fast forward 5 years later. At this point now, I wasn't in therapy yet. 5 years behind. I think midway through my new relationship, I went to therapy, because I was just like, you know what? I really want to better myself. I want to make sure this relationship works. Like, I really love this dude. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, if I'm not okay, we're not gonna be okay. So I ended up going to therapy. Um, Sorry guys. So I ended up going to therapy, and then and I did this one thing where it was like, we talked about everything. Ended up realizing that I ended up realizing that my mental health was way worse than I thought it was, unfortunately. So I got diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety and trauma. Again, not trying to talk shit, but my last relationship was very traumatic. Um, I still had love for the guy. I mean, if he were to call me at 3 a.m., come pick me up, I'm drunk. I just flipped my car. Like, as I know we both have really big animosity towards each other at the moment, but I mean, at one point we were practically like best friends. There's just a lot there that, I mean, that's not part of the potty audio today. So we just won't speak of that, but yeah, pretty much that. I'm just gonna put that there. So yeah, my last relationship was very traumatic towards the end. Like, at the beginning it was fine. So towards the end, I just felt like it was just a really draining relationship. I wanted to make it work on my terms, and he wanted to make it work on his terms. And of course, we had two different terms, of course, and we weren't just seeing eye to eye. So due to that, me trying to meet halfway, I should say, it just kept draining me and draining me and draining me so bad. Like, I was not myself. I would wake up sad. I would wake up, I would feel like I was like part of me was missing. Like, my spark was missing. I wasn't me anymore. Like, if it I don't know how to like really say it, but like, I just wasn't myself. It was really hard to see myself that way. And it just sucks too, because my friends would be like, dude, I miss the old you, this and that. And I thought I was just fine. But I knew I wasn't. But I kept trying to put up a front and saying I was fine, because I really wanted the relationship to work out and stuff like that. So I was like, whatever, dude. I didn't want to see the bad stuff. So this is where the trigger warning comes in. I would say 4 months ago, I think, like in the fall, my depression got so bad. Super bad. It got really, really bad. And I just was like, damn. Like, to me, it felt like if I would just I don't want to say the word, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I felt like if I would just, do that, um, to me at that moment, I felt like my problems were gone. I was like my being sad all the time, I was like my parents don't have to worry about. I was like my parents don't have to, be worried either. They would, they would have to be like, oh, is she fine today? Is she not? Is she single? Is she not? I was like, they're not gonna be like, oh, no ha llegado a la casa, or she hasn't called. Like, I was just like, like my coworkers, everybody. I was just like, everybody's just gonna finally not hear from me complain anymore. So I just helping everybody else, I should say, because I was not. How do I say? I think it was just me thinking it was gonna solve everything. I thought one solution was gonna solve all 80 problems that I had in my life. Because I'm like, if I go through this one solution, everything was gonna be fine, I was just like, I won't wake up sad. I won't wake up depressed. I won't be scared to go out with my friends. I won't be nervous to do anything. Like, I just thought, to me too, I was just like, I'll just be free. That was my thing. I just was like, I'll be free. I'll finally be free. And I don't have to be sad anymore. I should say. I just thought that was gonna be the solution for everything. And one day, it just got me. I was just like, you know what? This is the end. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I just couldn't. I was so scared and anxious, and I was just like, you know what? It's just gonna be for. I just thought it was just gonna be for the best, and I know I just rambled a lot there, but I hope you guys are still trying to understand where I was trying to explain it, and it wasn't making sense. But I hope everything makes sense now. But yeah, I guess I got like 90% of the way there to where until I was like, you know what, this is not okay. I'm really scared of death. And I feel like that's what saved me. Cause to me it's like, what happens when you're dead? Like, where do you go? I mean, I guess no matter what you believe in, what religion, what anything, it's like, okay, like you can believe whatever you want, but at the end of the day, it's like, what happens, Like, no one truly knows. So that was my thing. I was like, I've always been scared of death, even though I was ready to just meet it. Take another shot every time Columbus says, I'm trying to liven up the mood, guys. Sorry. I know that was a lot to take in, but. And no one really knows the story besides two people. So, sorry. So yeah. And I knew it was starting to get bad. Like I'm saying, like that day when I was ready to just, be like, you know what, F this. I actually kind of scared myself. I was like, damn, like, am I really gonna do this? Is this really gonna be the last day anyone says sees me, hears me, talks to me, anything? I was just like, wow, like, it was just so intense that I was like, wow, I was crying. It was just bad. I'm not gonna get too much into detail and more reasons because it's not necessary, but and I see my therapist at least once a week, so I did so this was on a weekend, and then I see her usually Mondays or Tuesdays, so the next day I saw her, I was like, dude, like, I can't do this, like, please help, I need more help. I was just like, don't worry, I'm not gonna do nothing crazy, because I'm like, do not send me to the crazy people right now. I'm not crazy, and I have a lot of work right now. I cannot afford to miss work. I'm like, and she's like, okay. She's like, you need to see a psychiatrist. Like, she was worried because, I mean, of course she knows my whole life story. So for her to kind of be like, oh shit, and then for her to realize that I was willing, not willing, but like asking her, like, I need help right now. So whatever. So, I ended up meeting my psychiatrist. But by the time like that happened, all the negative stuff in my life was like diminishing. So it was a lot easier to be more me. And I did realize that a lot, that my last relationship drained me so bad to the point where I just was like, you know what? It's better off if I'm gone. I was like, that's not okay. Um, Even after that, when I knew that wasn't okay, I still would have been like, oh no, I want to be with him, because trauma bonds are a bitch. Let me tell you that. But whatever. And then, I've been on medication. I've been trying to cope with things. And then I realized I kind of go back in a cycle. Like, okay, let me just drink my life away and go out and party because why not? I'm single and I should live my life. And in reality, that's not even okay to do either. Like, I guess I really do use drinking as a coping mechanism. One, because I think it's just very accessible. And two, it's just like everybody else is drinking around me. So why not join them and just overdrink though, I am a very heavy drinker. So like everybody's like, oh, okay, she's good. But in the inside, my body's like, bitch, like stop draining your feelings with alcohol. And it's just like, I guess it's a learning experience to like relearn how to love myself again, I should say. Because I didn't give myself the time to love myself from the beginning. So I felt like I was just only digging a hole deeper and deeper, and I never was going to like I was never I was just never going to be happy if I don't go and do this. But I ended up just making it way worse, and it got to the point where it was bad. And I did have people to talk to, of course, besides my therapist, but I didn't want to tell them my situation because I feel like when I hear about that, to me, I'm like, why would you just end your life? Like, you have a nice life, you have this, you have that. And then when I was contemplating it, it's like, whoa, like, I was about to be like, you know what, I'm done. Like, that's insane. Like, I really was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And it just blows my mind that in a matter of seconds, your life you could be done. And everybody's gonna end up wondering, like, why. I had texted that certain someone. I was like, I'm done, dude. I'm done. I was like, I can't do this anymore. To me, I'm telling you, I honestly do feel like it's just the easy way out, because yes, the sun's still gonna shine. Yes, the birds are still gonna chirp. But you're putting your problems onto other people. It's never just gonna end. And maybe, honestly, it would just make it worse. They snapped me out of it. Was, I'm telling you guys, at this time, I was just like, I was done. That was like my final straw. An event that happened that day really triggered it. I was like, dude, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But something snapped inside of me. It was like, do you really want to see your parents cry? Do you really want to see your sister cry? For those that can see me on YouTube, I'm so sorry. I have an ugly crying face. Not even like Kim Kardashian se ve tan fea. No, pues sí, like Kim Kardashian sí está... Her crying face is kind of ugly. But yeah. Anyways. And then I was like, do I want to see like my friends being sad? Like anytime they get reminded of something I done, I'd be like, oh, like I wish she was here, and oh, this and that, and blah blah blah, and literally even my dog, I was like, I don't want my dog to wake up and be like, where the fuck's my mom? I don't want her to be like, like she left me, And it's just like the little things are like, um, I was just like, damn, like if I do this one selfish thing, it's not solving anything. And then that person I was texting that day, um, I was just like, you know what? If I'm gone, your life is gonna be better. So why not just be gone? Um, you know, the response and stuff that we're um going through wasn't what I guess it wasn't what I wanted him to say or what I wanted to hear. Once I snapped out of it, I was like, you know what? I have to go inside of my house and sleep. I was like, I need to wake up tomorrow. I was like, I can't do this right now. It's not fair for one person to ruin pretty much everybody else's life. And I'm not being trying to be cocky or anything, but it's true. Like, my sister would lose a sister, my parents would lose a daughter, my friends would lose a friend. If I don't, I mean, whatever he would be losing, that's on him. But I was just like, I can't do that. Like, I just can't. I'm like, I still have too much life to live. I still want to travel the world. I still want to, get married one day, have kids. Like, I still have too much life. And I wasn't going to let someone, like, destroy that because I didn't get to hear. They didn't do what I wanted them to do. And it sucks because it's like, I just wanted so much, but I couldn't get it. And like I said again, I'm not blaming anybody. At the end of the day, it would have been all me. But yeah. The whole point of why I decided to open up and tell you guys about this potty was because mental health is a scary thing because, and this is why I say it's scary, because nobody understands it until it's too late. We did, I don't, I should say in my experience, I did grow up in a house where it wasn't talked about. You really, I've told my parents, oh yeah, I got diagnosed with depression. Why? Why are you sad? You shouldn't be sad. Or I've told them, oh, I have really bad anxiety. And then they're like, for what? Like, when I told them I also got diagnosed with trauma, especially my mom, she's like, trauma from what? You don't have trauma. And I'm like, dude, like, you don't say those things. Like, at least say something else. Pretend like you give a crap, but like, don't say that. I remember the first time I did tell my mom when I first got diagnosed, like first. She yelled at me. Literally, she was like, I literally got a lecture that when I told her I was depressed. Like literally, I was like, dude, are you serious? So later on, I stopped opening up to them because I was like, for what? Why am I gonna tell my parents this? I would kind of open up to my sister and tell her some things and my friends, but I was kind of like, if the people that I really wanted to care don't care, well, like, why is anyone else gonna care? So that's how that was. And it's just scary because one little decision can ruin everything. And I really want people to, there's resources out there, there's help out there, there's me. Like, if you were to message me and be like, bro, I'm having the worst day of my freaking life, I'd be like, bro, call me right now. Let's talk. Of course I'm not gonna tell anybody. Like, that's fucked up. But, I'm down to hang out. Like, oh, let's go have dinner and you want to trauma dump on me? Down. Or, like, just anything. Like, people will listen to you. And I know therapy is expensive. And I know all these things are so expensive, and it sucks because it's like you need help, but you have to pay for this help, and not everybody can afford it, and not everybody can go so as often. I mean, I'm grateful that I can go as often as I can, but you know, a lot can happen. Even a lot can happen in a week. A lot can happen in a day, in a couple minutes, to where you're like, you know what, F this, and then you know, you do it, and you could be done. And I feel like at this point I'm still just rambling, and I'm sorry, but it's just something that now that I look back at it, I'm so grateful that I didn't go through it. I'm very grateful that here come the waterworks. I'm really grateful that I was able to snap out of it. I know there's someone else, you know, watching over me and was like, dude, don't be a dumbass. Like, you still have to marry Justin Bieber, okay? Like, you still have so much life to live. You can't just be like, okay, I'm over it. So yeah. But yeah, anyways, guys, sorry for this very sad trauma dumping this dump truck. Just kidding. For this trauma dumping episode. But I did just want to, like, check up on your happy friends. Trust me. Tell them you love them. Even if you haven't talked to them in months, just be like, hey, missing you. Hope you're doing well. Just anything. Because you never know what someone's going through. No one, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be shocked. A lot of my friends and people in my life when they hear this. Because I like to put up a front. I don't want people to see me sad. I don't want people to not seeing me have a good time. Like, when I'm home, I'm so sad. And then when I would get out of my house, it was like nothing. Yeah, I would tell my friends I was sad and like stuff. But it wasn't like I am telling you guys. Like, it was just very like, oh, I'm sad, this and that. Yeah. They never saw the other side of me. So, yeah. Alright. I'm just gonna shut up because I feel like, again, I'm just rambling. Thank you guys. You just don't forget, you can see my beautiful face on YouTube. You can listen to me on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Mwah.